Project's Melton, and today I'll be explaining the game setup for our new invasion game, 10-Pin Knockdown. Now the object of this game is to be the first team to knock down your opponent's 10 pins and you win the game. The equipment that you will be needing are 2 soccer balls, 20 bowling pins, and team pennies to distinguish teams. You will also need 24 cones, which are used to mark boundaries, goal areas, and end zone lines. However, gym lines can be used instead. And if people don't have bowling pins, water bottles may also be used instead. Now this game can be played in any large space, indoors or outdoors. Now to set up this game, you can either use the gymnasium lines, as you can see here, for the boundaries as well as end zone lines, or you can use cones to mark the different boundaries. I recommend going the length and width of a gymnasium, and if you're outdoors, then you can just make it as long and wide as you want depending on the amount of people you're playing. Less numbers, I'd make it a smaller playing field. And so for the end zone boundaries, I recommend going about 10 yards deep on top and bottom, and then the width is the width of a gymnasium. Now what you're going to do is you're going to place 4 pins in the middle here, about 10 yards away from the end zone on both the right and left side. So there'll be 4 pins in the middle here on both the top and bottom, about 10 yards away from each end zone. Then what you're going to do after that is you're going to place 4 cones around each set of 4 pins that you made in a 5-yard by 5-yard square. So what you have just made is the goalie area. So this is where only the goalie can go in each of these goalie areas. So each team will have 2 goalies, 1 for each goalie area. And after you've done this, then you're going to place 2 pins in each end zone near the back of the end zone so people don't run into them when they're playing the game. So you should have a total of 10 pins on this side, 4 pins right there, 4 pins right here, and 2 pins up there, and 10 pins on the bottom side.
The pins in the end zone may only be knocked down by scoring a touchdown with your team. To score a touchdown, you must pass the ball in the air to a teammate that is standing in the opposite team's end zone. 1 pin gets to be knocked down by the person catching the touchdown pass. Each team can only have 1 goalie per goal area to defend the goal, so a total of 2 goalies per team. Any number of people can defend the end zone. Once a pin is knocked down from a touchdown, a soccer kick, or thrown ball, the ball is given to the other team and the game continues. And how to win. Be the first team to knock down their opponent's 10 pins and win the game. The game is played continuously until a team has knocked down all 10 pins. If both teams happen to knock down the 10th pin at the exact same time, then the tiebreaker would be playing the game again, but with only 1 pin in each goalie area and in the end zone for a total of 3 pins on each team's side. That we're going to talk about is game plan rules. So to start, divide into 2 equal teams. Each team stands on opposite ends of each other in their own end zone. Each team will start with 1 ball. To start the game, both teams will throw their ball to the other team, and then the game will begin. So, invading and moving. Once the game is underway, teams may begin to invade the other team's side by kicking the ball like in soccer. The ball can only be moved with feet until someone kicks the ball and another person catches the ball in the air. After this, the ball may be moved by passing it to teammates. Once someone catches the ball, they are only allowed to move 2 steps, and they must either throw or kick the ball within 5 seconds of getting the ball. Opponents must stand arm's length away from the person with the ball. If the ball touches the ground, you go back to kicking it with your feet. If the ball goes out of bounds, it goes to the opposite team that hit it out. That team has the option of throwing it or kicking it back in bounds. Scoring. The 4 pins in the middle of the left goal on each team's side may be knocked down only by kicking the soccer ball at them and then knocking them over. You may kick down more than 1 pin with a kick. The pins in the middle of the right goal on each team's side may only be knocked down by throwing the soccer ball at them.
So strategies for the game would be kick the ball into the air to pass to your teammates faster, try to knock down the cones into even distribution by either kicking, throwing, or scoring a touchdown, give roles to your teammates as either defenders or attackers, and one of the most important things is to communicate with your teammates. For some safety tips for the game would be while defending, try not to tackle, kick, or hit any other players. Make sure only 1 person is in the goalie at all times. Make sure you are aware of your surroundings, so keeping an arm's length away from people when they have the ball is a great way to ensure safety.